Today on The Lone Arm Show.
Look out, it's a flying dragon! So here's another game I played when I was a boy with short arms. I remember renting it quite a few times when I was a kid, and to the best of my recollection I actually really liked it. But for some reason, whenever I had the money, I'd always buy something else, like Super Mario 64 or Zelda, or some other bigger N64 title. So hopefully after all of these years of neglect, it hasn't decided to, you know, have any hard feelings or anything, because that would just be weird. Right off the bat, here we have another amazing introduction developer screen thing. So far, I'm 2 for 2 on games that have awesome starting screens. But wait, does that logo say Culture Brand? That sounds like some kind of cereal. Hey kids! Come on down to your local supermarket and try some fresh Culture Brand. Remember, if you want to enlighten your life, only eat Culture Brand. Now, one of the main selling points of this game is that it's essentially 2 different games in one. It's kinda like Action 52, except with this, instead of having 52 really bad games all bundled together, there's only 2 fighting games all in the same package. There's the SD Hiryu, which I totally just looked up on the wikis, and Hiryu means flying dragon, and the Virtual Hiryu, which is the grown-up fancy schmancy adult counterpart version 1.5! Now, I mainly remember playing in the SD mode, so that's what I'll stick to for right now. And in it, the game looks much more childish. And by childish, I mean the whole roster of fighters are little kids. Except for Robo Nohana. He's probably old enough to eat babies. But before I go on any further, let me just say it felt incredibly awkward to know that I was playing as a little kid, beating up on other little kids with little kid kung fu and little kid Hadoukens. It was even more awkward than me asking a girl out on a date. Hey baby, wanna play some Flying Dragon? The Circuit mode, which is the main mode inside the SD Flying Dragon mode, that's totally not confusing, had me fighting through a series of the other little kids in a very atypical fighting game fashion. After defeating one little kid, you get to the other, and so on and so forth until you reach the head honcho kid and whoop his or her butt. Then, after beating the circuit, I guess there's a championship series after it, so the whole circuit mode can be repeated for who knows how many times until the end of the game occurs. If there even is an end to the game. But every time you beat the circuit, you receive a treasure, of which the greatest thing ever happens. Oh my gosh, that was even cheesier than my rap career. I'm a big star, oh yeah, I'm like Youngtown, throwing down the beats like that one band Smash Mouth. If I had a girl, I'd make her an all-star. No, I'm not talking about sex, cause I respect women. I really wish I knew why these kids were fighting each other. Like, did they all get really pissed because they were playing dodgeball, but then someone got hit really hard in the face and was like, hey, quit throwing the ball so hard. And then he just got onslaughted with even more dodgeballs and was like, alright, screw this, let's fight. That storyline alone would make more sense than anything this game has. Although, there is an incredibly vague sense of story because there's this weird hatred between this dude and that guy. But I don't know why. There's no backstory or exposition at all. Why do they hate each other? I need to know!
We now return to Flying Dragon High.
Hey, do you think that girl likes me? No! So after beating the circuit mode a couple of times, this weird platinum person randomly appeared out of nowhere. I was like, I'ma mess you up! Well, I'm over here like, oh my gosh, you're made of platinum, let me smelt you down so I can pay for my college. I guess this dude is a boss, but it doesn't matter. I've pretty much become a master at this game, so he should be no problem. Yep, no problem. Absolutely none. I got this. I can do it. Just gotta whittle him down, one tiny little piece at a time, so I can then use him as currency. Alright, I think I've had enough child violence for today. Let's switch over to the Virtual Hiryu 1.5 mode. Okay, so there's something wrong with this. The little kid game is actually more enjoyable than Virtual Hiryu, the mode they probably intended for everyone to like. It feels like the Virtual Hiryu 1.5 mode was trying to be much more serious than the SD mode, which is kind of ironic considering the SD mode has more depth in its kinda sorta RPG elements and treasure collecting than this bland Virtua Fighter ripoff. There's nothing good to support the Virtual Hiryu at all, and for that it definitely suffers. You know what? This game actually isn't that bad. For a fighting game on the N64, which there really weren't that many to begin with, got overshadowed and underplayed. I think there's definitely a reason why I liked it when I was a kid. I think that's because the SD mode was actually pretty enjoyable. It may be a little bit dated now, especially with some of the gameplay mechanics, but honestly it's still kind of fun to pick up and play. Just make sure you stick to the SD mode. But now, if you'll excuse me, I have to let this puppy live free with its other dragon brethren. So, excuse me. You did good, game. You did real good. But after all of these years, I have to let you go. Holy crap!